Do you want to grow some nice peachy glutes? Then here are 5 underrated exercises that will help build your booty. The first one is going to be a trap bar deadlift, but we're going to make a slight tweak to it. We're going to elevate ourselves by standing on something like a plate. And we're going to stand on the plate. This is going to give us more range of motion. And we're going to do an exercise called a floating trap bar deadlift. We aren't going to touch the ground and then come back up. We are creating a bigger stretch in our glutes by standing on the plate, and we are also creating more tension on our muscle from not touching the ground and floating. I know someone in the comments is going to say, oh, you can just flip the trap bar upside down and hold it like that to create more range of motion. And you're right, you can create more range of motion by turning the trap bar upside down. But it is a little bit harder to hold and will wriggle around in my hands and put pressure on my wrists. So this is why I like to stand on the plate. One of my favorite and underrated glute exercises is the glute hyperextension, but I don't want you doing it like this. Doing this is mainly back and hamstrings. If I want to do my glutes more, do this. Instead of having your legs straight, have a slight bend in your knee and turn your feet out slightly. Now hinge over the pad, and at the bottom, all I want you to do is round your back over it. This is going to take the back out of the movement. And from here, just thrust your hips into the pad as hard as you can. This is as far as I want you to come up. This is all glutes. Any further than that is going to be my back. The next underrated glute exercise is a simple box step up. People just think, oh, it's just a step up. I'm only using my body weight. It's not that hard. But if you do this, make your box or step taller. This will give you more range of motion throughout your step, creating a bigger stretch on our booty. And we can just tweak the exercise slightly to put more pressure on our glutes. We can hinge over at our hips. You can see this is putting a bit more stretch on my glute here, right here. And then doing the step up and then coming back down and still hinging on the way back when you come down. This is creating a bigger stretch on our glutes, more tension, which is what you want when you're trying to build some muscle. Instead of staying upright and putting too much pressure forward, this is going to be more quad instead of my glutes. And lastly, when you do your step up, make sure your knee doesn't cave in. My glute isn't working now. Make sure you open up your hip, your glute is squeezed, and then you do your step up. Hey! Before I tell you the next 2 exercises, if you want a program that will actually help build your glutes, check out the program in the description. There's even a free one in there for you too. So if you want to grow a booty, make sure you sign up to one of those. This next one is probably my favorite, is a single leg Romanian deadlift. I see a lot of people doing a normal Romanian deadlift, but the single leg Romanian deadlift, not so much. Probably because it is much harder than a normal Romanian deadlift, and you'll be very humbled at the weight that you have to pick for this exercise to do the exercise properly. As you can tell, I'm a little bit wobbly, but my glutes are working super hard in this position to keep myself stable. And I've also got a nice stretch as I go all the way over, and I want to thrust my hips in and use my glutes to come up and stand up straight. And I'm just going to do that again, one more time, see if I can do 2 in a row. How many takes did this take? I'm not going to tell you, and I'm going to cover. That was good enough, I'll take it. Hey, trying to breathe and do that is hard, let alone trying to talk, all right? We all know a hip thrust is great for your glutes, but I want you to try this variation. It's a B stance hip thrust. Instead of having your feet normally like this, we're gonna do a staggered stance. One foot slightly forward, and we're putting more pressure on our normal leg, which is this leg for me right now. If you have a smaller glute or weaker glute, you could do this exercise to help bring up that lagging glute. Once you finish one side, have a little rest before you go into the other side, because you will be a little bit gassed, your glute will be a little bit tired from working from that previous set. Then once you're ready, go again. This is one of my least favorite hip thrust variations because it is hard, which probably means I should probably do it more, which maybe you should too. If you like those glute exercises, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want to learn some hip thrust hacks, make sure you watch this video up here.